back to a new video. So in my last video you really enjoyed when I propagated my Christmas cactus, so I'm going to do it again with this one here, and I'm just going to carry on the experiment a bit longer this time, and I'm also going to go into more detail. So as you can see with this plant, it's in its flowering time, which is not the best time to take the cuttings. However, I'm going to use the ones that don't have any flowers starting to grow on them. So I'm going to use these two here, and then I'm also going to take these two here. So what you need to do is take it at the base right here and try not to damage any of the leaf. So if I just try and twist it. So there we go, you can see it's come off a nice clean snap. We want this to be as undamaged as possible because this is where the roots are going to come out from. So that's the first bit. Now the second one I'm going to take from this here. So there's the second one here. So there is a little tear in the leaf. This one was a bit harder to get off. If you can see it just there, there's a little bit of damage, but it should still be okay. So here are my cuttings. I'm basically going to leave these now for a few days for the ends to just dry out, because if they go into water too soon, it'll take up too much water and then it will just rot and die. So I usually leave them about 3 days to a week, something like that. So that's what I'll do. Okay, so here they are. So I've put the leaf about halfway in the soil on this one. And then for this one, I've put 2 bits of sellotape like this and then propped it in so that it's not touching the bottom of the glass, so the roots can just come out and they're not going to be hit with the bottom of the glass. So hopefully it'll encourage it to grow better. So it's been 3 weeks since this one's been in the water and this one's been in the soil. I've tried to fluff up the soil to try not to damage the roots, but it seems like it's fairly planted in there, or it was fairly planted in there. So if we just look at this one first then. So actually feeling the leaf, it feels very strong. It doesn't feel like it's damaged in any way. It feels nice and firm. If I try and clean off some of this soil. So as you can see, the roots have grown out a little bit. I don't want to damage them too much and interfere with it, because obviously it might stop it growing, but it's grown quite well. Seems to have really taken to the soil. The soil at the moment is quite damp, as you can see. So it seems to be really happy. And then if you look here with the water, these have grown really, really good roots. They're quite long and really thick. So I'll put these back and then I'll check back in a few more weeks. So it's now been in the water for 9 weeks. It's been 6 weeks since the last update. And if I go for the water one first, so as you can see, the roots have grown like crazy since the last update. Obviously it's been 6 weeks. Sorry, I've moved house, so I've been a bit crazy, but if we take a look here, there's no new growth on the top, but the roots have grown really well since last time. So that's 9 weeks in total. So then if I move on to the one in soil, it's actually started growing a flower, which is quite odd because it's now March. So usually they come in December, I think, because it's a Christmas cactus, but I could be mistaken. So I thought that was a little bit odd, but yeah, it must be happy in there. So I fluffed up the soil to try not to break any of the roots, so hopefully it should just pull out. I'll just show you the root system. So again, you can kind of see the roots there growing nice and thick, and Again, the leaf feels really strong. It doesn't feel limp in any way, and the same with this one. This one seems to be nice and strong too. I've been changing the water every probably week or maybe 2, and when I do that I usually water this one, and it seems to be working really well so far. So this is after 9 weeks. So this is update for week 11. This one's doing really well. The bud is still growing nicely. It's much bigger than it was last time. I'm not going to take it out of the soil just because it disrupts it and I don't want to disrupt its growth, but you can imagine the roots are growing well in there for it to still be looking really strong. The leaf still feels really strong, and obviously because of the growth it's obviously happy in there. So now if we move on to the water, looking really strong and healthy. In comparison, this one does feel a little bit more weak. This one in comparison doesn't have any growth on the top. However, it's still looking really well. So this is the update for week 11. Here is a 13-week update. As you can see, quite obviously, this flower has just bloomed in the past few days. I had to put a little stick here to prop up the leaf. It'd gotten so heavy it looked like it was going to snap, so I had to put a stick there. I did debate whether to take the leaf off, obviously because it was kind of ruining the actual leaves. It still feels quite soft and a little bit tender, so I'm hoping now that the flower's bloomed that it can start to strengthen up the leaf again. But yeah, very bizarre. Last time I did this test, it did not do this, so it's quite interesting. As for the one in water, so as you can see, the roots are still looking good. I do need to change the water on this one. And now the leaf still feels pretty strong. It still feels quite good. That seems very strong as well, the join. But as far as I can tell, there's no new growth. It's just looking quite strong still there. So yeah, week 13, very interesting. So here's the 14-week update. This is the last one I'm going to do on this video, but I'll carry on recording them and I'll put up a new video soon and I'll link it down below. But here is the 14-week update. So as you can see, the flower has now wilted, and I may just pull that off because it's going to just fall off anyway. It's looking much stronger than what it did on the last update, because if you remember on the last update the leaf was looking really weak. I had to put the little stick there because it was just almost falling over, but now it feels a lot stronger, so that's good. I'll probably do that in the next video. And then if we look for the water one, this one again, it still feels nice and strong, but there is no new growth that I can see. The root system is looking really good. So there we go, there's the progress between 0 and 14 weeks. Please subscribe and I'll put up a new video soon with more updates on these ones. Thanks for watching.